questions, remarks, and complaints, etc.?
Okay, Ed Goodman,
Yes.
you're up.
We just want to talk about our water bill. It's $1,000 and $184. We've had a leak that we weren't aware of. We were just wondering if we could get that reduced. There's no way that we could possibly pay that.
You haven't had an adjustment in the last year, have you?
No.
In their paper, it has a form.
Yeah, there's a form you have to fill out for that. Did you find the leak?
No.
We have to dig up the front yard to find it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
Is
honestly
this the one you looked at, Ernie?
Yes.
don't have the money to even dig it
I
out.
mean, we can't dig it up now. It's too late to try to do it now. Gotta wait. So I told them to turn the water off because it wasn't. I mean, we used it was like 900 gallons one time, and then it went from 900 to 4,000, and it still wasn't turned off. It went from 4,000 to 8,000, and it still wasn't turned off until I was off that day, and they had came up to read the meter the day before on the Wednesday. Still didn't cut it off. Then I came up here because I was off the next day, that Thursday. I didn't even know they came up and read it. And when I came up here, then we went back to the house and seen that it was spinning. And then he asked me if I wanted to turn it off. And I'm like, well, yeah, I want to turn it off. I don't want to stay on.
And I did address that issue
Yeah.
with the guys on that. I told them that from now on, if there's a leaking meter, knock on the door, let the customer know. If they're not there, come back, let Phil and Carrie know, and they should be able to call you.
There is an adjustment process, though. Knowing that's your wheelhouse.
You have to get a hold of Phil and Carrie when they're open. They'll give you the paper to fill out. And then it'll be brought up again on it.
You got a form right there?
Then it'll be put on the agenda and
Not
brought up
only right
again.
now.
The next meeting we'll adjust it.
Okay. Do you know what the adjustment is?
There's a,
It's a formula, that's all I know, and it's on that computer, and Carrie runs that water project thing, so I can't do it right now for you.
Okay.
Can one of you stop in tomorrow? Before 4?
Well, y'all can get the adjustment form and figure out.
Yeah, we can
what the
figure it out,
adjustment is.
you know, and I can always call them, I got their number.
Okay, all right.
So we'll get the form ready and then Ms. Bill will give you a call, and then we'll put it on the agenda for the next meeting.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thank you.
You have a good evening.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Greg Russell.
Oh, I just want to thank those responsible for getting that house down next door to me, that eyesore. I know whoever's responsible for the city, I just want to thank you for doing that, because that certainly was an eyesore. And
Yes,
I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. When's the next cleanup day?
Well, let me back up just a little bit. First off, we have to give a lot of the contributes to Paul. He worked diligently on getting that all done. And the ones that was out here on the cleanup day was very few, as you noticed.
Yeah.
But hopefully in the spring we got a little bit more organization to the cleanup day and a lot more people.
Well, that's what I was going to suggest. I think the best time to do it would be in the spring of the year.
Like April.
Get everybody.
Yeah, we made contact with a guy from DEP that says that we might even be able to get dumpsters for the large appliances. Yeah, he gave us some contact information.
Well, that's definitely in my plans.
That was my suggestion. I think
a massive cleanup, because that's what we need here. Because this cleanup was not what I had in
well, that was a big help.
I mean, it was a cleanup, but it wasn't.
Yeah, but that eyesore was a big help.
Yes, but
there
was a lot of people that deserve a lot of credit, not just me, but and I want to mention them later on.
Credit whose credit is due. I got my sticks all piled up there.
Way to go. Are they, do you need them moved?
Or my branches, I can't move them.
Yeah, we didn't.
I can't.
Well, we had some little people.
Well, I understand, yes.
We'll
I'm
try
not
to-
here to complain, I'm just thanking the city for the start that they are making. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
And I rode around to see where you was cleaning up at.
Does it look any better?
Yes.
Yeah, when it comes around.
Okay.
That's, I thought you was gonna do that, but when it comes around. Okay,
That's it.
okay. Minutes from the previous meetings, everyone had a chance to look them over. I haven't looked them over real well, but I got to through the first page. Let me take a quick minute. Okay, I'm ready for
Make a motion that we approve the minutes from last meeting.
I'll second it.
all in favor? Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carried. We will accept the minutes from the last one. Correspondence? Anyone got any correspondence?
This was in my belt mailbox. It's made out to me. It's from Tri-State Adult and Teen Challenge. Hope within reach. Freedom from addiction starts here. The Tri-State Adults and Teen Challenge cordially invite you and a guest to attend its first fundraiser to benefit a residential facility in the Tri-State area. Friday, November 30th, 6 o'clock, Cumberland Country Club. Dinner, special music, guest speaker will be Bob Carey. And it says relaxed formal attire. And respond by November 15th, which is tomorrow.
I had one of those same in my,
Did you?
yeah, I got it, since you covered it.
Right here.
Okay. Anyone else got any correspondence? Well, I've had some correspondence throughout the last 2 weeks with the DEP, the IJDC, and it all stemmed around our water project. And we have some of this stuff on the agenda down here about the response to Dunn Engineering. We got some favorable response from the DEP, which is representing the IJDC, and there's a good possibility that we're going to be able to get those pipes in up there at the water plant to divert this water away from some of the streets. And it could happen real quick. It won't happen till after Thanksgiving holidays, but it's looking favorable that it will happen. We met with a fellow from the DEP today, and he's real favorable in helping us out and also getting the camera to try to figure out where all the sewage blockages are when we have one. That's going to be a big plus, so we don't have to keep digging up roads and all that stuff to try to find a blockage in a sewer line. So we went through a lot of expense here in asphalt and everything else trying to figure out where we had a blockage. We knew approximately where it was, but without the camera, it was almost impossible to locate. With this camera, it should save us a lot of money all the way around. And the funds are already appropriated for it. It's just getting the authorization to use the funds. Okay, moving on along. Anybody else got any correspondence? Okay, officers' reports. Let's start with you tonight, Paul.
Okay. I just want to comment on the cleanup day. Like the Mayor said, was not that many of us. I was hoping for a really, really big turnout. We got a lot of problems in this town that need corrected. And some of them, like I say, we have to change, in my mind, a lot of thinking. This is Piedmont. A lot of us just say, this is Piedmont, we can do what we want to do. Well, that has to change. You can't just do what you want to do, leave your house the way you want to leave it, leave the streets, your sidewalks. Just can't be. We all have to sit and look at that and suffer with that. So we have to be better than that. And that was the whole thing behind this cleanup, is that we can change an attitude that's here. I don't know when it started, but it is here. Everybody knows it's here. It's here. But we can change that and make this place a whole lot better than what it is. I don't want to give a big speech, but that's just it. That was the whole purpose behind the cleanup. Not sweeping streets. It's to change an attitude. Yes, we have a lot of buildings. We have a lot of sore eyes that need cleaned up. And we attack those one at a time. But we need to change an attitude that seems to be here. That I can move in here and live the way I want to live. No, you can't. We have rules, we have laws. We have to abide by the laws that we have in this town. Yeah, we have to be good stewards, right? Good citizens. So that's what the cleanup was all about for me. I'd like to do it again in the spring. And I'm talking about a massive cleanup, and I'm ready to start right now, if the mayor lets me do it again, and start planning that, and have a massive cleanup in this town. There's a lot of things that need cleaned and changed, and we can do it. We get people up and out. We change an attitude, get people excited. That's what this is all about for me. So, we look forward in the spring, unless the mayor says otherwise. And I would like to do it, hit it up again. And we do this massive, we need to change the town. And I'm talking about getting everybody involved. You clean your own property. That's where a lot of the problem is. And it's with that attitude that I don't have to clean my property. I can do what I want on my property. Yes, you can, but come on. We all, as neighbors, we have to be good stewards, and we have to look at whatever you have there. So that's what I'm talking about. So in the spring, I'd like to revisit again and have a massive cleanup, and we get a lot of other people involved and a lot of organizations involved, and be a lot more planned. I thought it was well planned this time. I thought it was. But we'll have more time to throw it together and make it much better than what it was this time. So
I think that it was pretty well planned, Paul, but it was the working the plan that didn't happen.
yeah,
And I'm all for the cleanup.
clean the town. There you go.
I like what you said.
And we'll start planning that and do it. We need to set a date, and I think what we need to do is get some block captains involved,
Yep.
and have them accountable for their proportion of the street or town.
Right.
And like we talked before. But it didn't happen the last time. I don't think there was really enough time. Now we have 4 to 5 months to plan, and I think it'll come across a lot better.
Before we move on, I would like to thank everybody that came out. We did get some things accomplished. We got a house tore down, and I want to thank Mike Hanlon Dale Clark, Kelly Purvis, and some of the names escape me right now, but anybody that came out that day and anybody had a hand, my wife, Eve Green, Roger Green, I can't think of all the names, but we'll thank all those volunteers, Harry Coleman, they came out that day and supported us, so. But especially Mike Hannon and Dale Clark for donating their time, their trucks, their effort, the whole weekend, and helping us to tear this building down up here, so.
Well, we've accomplished a lot just by doing that, even
Yes.
if anything else didn't happen. But what we got done down there, I think looks a lot better too.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay,
Yep, I do too.
Ms. Dawn?
What do you think, Clayton?
He was telling me that the containers for the bulk, chemicals, all the papers have been signed and everything, they should be coming in. He said that, chemicals came in and they're a lot cheaper than what they were when we were buying them.
Well,
But they weren't bulk.
that's the reason why we approached it at this angle, was the cost and the availability and the smooth ease of getting it there.
And I talked to Marion Droppman, Mara Elk Garden. She said to remind everybody that their Christmas parade was December 8th. And lineup started at 2:30.
And did you remind her to
December
come
8th.
to ours?
No, she said something about it, but we were at Thanksgiving dinner, so.
What time?
I think she said it was at 2:30. I'll check again to make sure, but I'm almost sure that's what she said. Lineup's at 2:30, parade's at 3.
Okay. Rick?
I don't have anything been there, unless Ernie does, I have.
Well, Ernie has some things to say, so let's just turn it over to him.
Well, as Ben and a couple of you know, sent the guys out to put a little salt down this evening and found out that our salt spreader wasn't working. We also have a radiator leak on our Bobcat. And we're trying to get it fixed as fast as we can, but right now the salt spreader is more of a priority. Without it, we'll be shoveling salt out the back of the truck.
We'll get it fixed.
As she said, paperwork signed, bulk tanks will be here as soon as they get in from where they ordered them. Price of the chemicals was a lot less. Phil didn't yell at me. Other than that, we did get the garage cleaned up, so next time you guys go in and need to find something, it's a little easier to find, Paul.
Wasn't too bad this time.
Yeah. Well,
Not bad.
you have to look at it now.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I'll make a trip over there.
That's all I've got right now.
Well, one other thing on your behalf, Ernie, is that we've dropped our unaccountable water loss down to 16%, which is well within the guidelines of the Rural Water Association. So we're getting better at tracking our water. We're getting better at letting treated water go in certain places. Got a lot of this solved. We're going to get a little bit better, hopefully, but we're well within the guidelines now. The guidelines is up above 20%, so we're getting better at that too.
And I'll see to it you get a report every month on that.
Absolutely.
What did we ever come up with on the cameras for down at the sewage plant, Ernie? Did we ever, I know I wasn't here last week, but
Right now, no funds.
Okay. What was the cost on them?
Got 240.
Okay, Susie,
I'm just still working
do
on
you have
property.
something else, Paul?
No.
On properties. Friday, since I've been working as housing since 2002, I finally spoke to the owner of the Philistine building.
Mhm.
She is waiting on the deed, and she is going to have the awning removed as soon as she gets that copy of the deed. And then she will work on taking the building down.
Wow, that's it.
Yeah.
How long before she gets a copy of the deed?
I sent over
What is this
the
woman got?
deed book and page that the deed's on, so hopefully she can call the courthouse and they can have it sent to her. If not, I can go down and get a copy of it and send it to her. She bought it sight unseen. I sent her pictures, we've been in contact.
She seen what you bought and then.
Didn't know she even owned it.
Didn't know she even owned it.
Well, this is the way that thing's been going, that's why we haven't been able to track it. It goes from one tax deed to another tax
And she
deed.
does live in West Virginia, so if she doesn't comply, we got a little bit of headway to pursue.
Wonderful.
Is there any way she can dump it before?
Yes.
Yeah, probably, but we got a little bit more pull with her being in West Virginia as far as fines and
Yeah.
such.
If she dumps it in May,
That's what happens, they dump it.
that's what's been going on?
Yep, for years it's been going on, just like with cleanups, you know, they've been going on for years, but it's just the same people keeps coming out
Correct.
for some reason.
Hopefully we can change that.
Well, we're going to,
We're trying, Paul.
we're gonna try to do a little bit about that tonight. Okay, Paula, you're up.
I don't have anything.
Okay. Police reports, Union Clayton, whichever way you wanna go, I see. You had, about the, vehicles?
Oh, that's
That's
gonna be
on,
it.
underneath,
Hmm?
that's under new business.
Oh, okay. Alright, you guys got anything?
Just, you know, the usual traffic enforcement, Cadillac, you know, struck again. We got more narcotics, we got meth, heroin, paraphernalia, normal, cracking down. What's that?
Marijuana.
No, usual marijuana, got that off another traffic stop. Like 15 minutes after we got the meth and heroin and paraphernalia. We had a good day that day and just cracking down on speeders. Just trying to do what we can out there.
Well, great, keep it up, that's all I gotta say.
You're doing a good job, a great job.
And the bus stops, keep doing them, I really do appreciate that, because that's been a problem up here by Childs Avenue for years. People just comes down through there too doggone fast.
So that's my pleasure.
I enjoyed working with you, Clayton. Cleanup day, thank you.
Pleasure working with you. Wish I had more help on it, but you know,
He was a hard worker, he did a good job, thank you.
I try.
Yeah, he wouldn't have had me to fix things right after him.
I gotta get something to do around here.
Everything he touched, he messed up. He broke the handle with a rubber hammer. All right, let's move on. Unfinished business. Resolution in supporting the home rule. Paula has some information to go on that. It's sort of a narrative, but we do need to make a vote and get this in.
I looked into it, and Susie and Ben said they talked to the people at the Bad Buildings meeting, and basically it says where governmental power in West Virginia is constitutionally located in the state, with counties and municipalities having no inherent right of self-government. In the interest of efficiency, however, some responsibilities have been delegated to local units of government. This delegation of governing authority from the state to local units is referred to as home rule. So that would give us power to do stuff as long as we follow the code throughout the town, other towns, just something we can do within our own city. and I think we should pass the resolution. And Gary Howe is a board member, so we have a local delegate that's a board member on the whole rule. Right now, there's 34 municipalities. It started as a pilot program with 12, and it's up to 34. And it's gonna be ending in July 19, and they wanna redo it, and that's what the
That's right.
resolution's for. I make a motion to accept the resolution for home rule.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? Any discussion about it? Okay, we'll accept the home rule. Next thing on the agenda is our retainer for our city lawyer is up. Miss Kitty Dooley is our lawyer. Her retainer is up in December, I believe it is. So we need to get a motion here that we do retain her for another year.
I make a motion to renew Kitty Dooley's retainer for our town lawyer.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, done. We'll retain Miss Dooley. Okay, Nelson Michael's response to Dunn Engineering. I've been going through the contract. A few things that didn't quite stand up completely. Dunn is willing to change. There's two different things in there. I believe it was Article 4
And 6.
and 6. And those are mandated by the IJDC, the USDA, and it is formal language in a contract that if that language is changed, it kind of eliminates us from ever getting any kind of grants from the USDA or IJDC. So this is still having Nelson Michael looked over these two things. He should be back with us probably by, well, definitely he'll be back to us by the time we have our next meeting. So at that time, we'll ask you all for a motion to sign the contract with Dunn Engineering. Dunn is already working on some things that was open and helping us with this DEP stuff, which I mentioned earlier, and also doing the feasibility study for phase 3 of the water project. Okay, so that, I guess what we're going to need to do is table that until Nelson gets back on those two things. But all the other 6 things that was on there, done changed to meet our specifications. Those 2 things, I contacted the IJDC and the USDA. They both say that it's ironclad language that they must have in the contract. So Nelson's still looking it over. I haven't got a response back from him. So that's where we're at right now. We need to table that and put that on the next agenda. He hasn't got back today, has he, Phil, that you know of? Okay. Moving on along. Tree lighting before the Christmas parade. The Christmas parade's going to be on the 6th, is that correct?
Thursday, December 6th.
That could be conflicting for me, but I don't know. Thursday, December the 6th. And what time is it start
The
lineup?
parade starts at 7. The lineup starts like at 6. And we always do the tree lighting at like between 6 and 6:30.
Well-
Last year was the first tree lighting and it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, that's here.
That's right.
Hopefully I can make it back in time. But I'm not 100% sure. I'm 90% sure though, so I'll do my best.
I make a motion for the tree lighting ceremony to be held before the Christmas parade on December the 6th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Good. What time? What time? 6.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
Mine was at 6, right?
What time you say it was, Paul?
Is the tree lighting at 6? Yeah.
It's December the 6th, at 6, right?
Yeah, the parade starts at 7, so that gives everybody a little time afterwards. Last year we had a bunch of kids that brought ornaments down, which was very nice. And we had Olaf on hand for pictures of kids like that. So I can probably have Olaf again this year. Maybe we could try to get a couple of the animals that they have at Westernport up we could talk to Tim. Get some of them costumes they have over there and have a couple more animals. But then I know the after school home that sent ornaments over and the different families brought people down for ornaments. That's nice. It's something to take the city together. And then, like I said, I have Santa Claus at the Legion afterwards. Our auxiliary does hot chocolate and cookies with Santa, and the library does pictures with the old man and shows the movie. This year we're sharing the star. So.
Well, that will be an exciting
What?
the star.
Have you seen that?
A little bit of it, yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I didn't see it all, the kids were looking at it. Okay, got anything else? Okay, moving on along. Change order for the sewer project. This is some of the stuff that I mentioned earlier about in my correspondence talk. The change order is that we have to basically narrow down our wish list a little bit and be able to afford the pipe that's coming down to dump the water back into the drains. The big thing to me is that we get rid of the water in the streets and divert it away from private properties. Whether it be, a lot of it's runoff water. Well, the biggest part of it is, but the rains and stuff that we had this year, it's just unmanageable. So hopefully with this culvert issue, getting this 1,100 foot of pipe in will save a lot of that and a lot of the erosion that's going on. So
Have we heard back from the one guy that come in, that Crowder?
yes, he came back in, but he hasn't got a report on whether they've actually started on working on those pipes, haven't they, Ernie?
They actually did it about the week before last, and they're finished. They went through all the piping and everything in about a day and a half.
Cool.
Well, they have the proper equipment to do it with, and that helped us some, but it didn't solve the problem. There's so much water coming off the mountain that it's just pathetic. It's everywhere, and you know, we just can't ditch enough or have enough drains for it. It's Mother Nature.
Yeah, I saw water coming down between Piedmont and Kaiser on that road. I've never seen it come down places before this year. I mean, I've never seen it come down different places.
Well, you know, it's nice to know that we're not, you know, you hate to see other people have problems too, but we're not the only one with these problems.
Has the state said anything on that? I mean, has the governor made an issue on that as far as, you know, getting FEMA to help or anything for the area?
The governor declared a disaster area in certain places. We wasn't included in it, and it lasted for 4 days. You had 4 days to declare your disaster, have the papers filed, sent into FEMA, and have them recognized. 4 days. 4 days. Wow. And that's all you had. So, you know, we did send the papers in, but they didn't get to FEMA, and the FEMA representative from Romney said that we did not qualify. We filed this back in, I believe it was like June or July 1st, wasn't it? last part of June or the first week in July.
I thought it was first week in July.
Well, it might have been. I got it all out in the truck, but that, I have no filing cabinets, so my truck's my filing cabinet. And this thing that the FEMA put out there about the disaster, you had 4 days to do it. Now, to me, you know, it's one day before you recognize they even put it out there. It takes you another day to get your ducks lined up to send it all to them. And then they got another 2 days to look at it, which they never got to ours, so we didn't qualify.
It takes 2 weeks to get through the mail system.
So that's about the, you know, there was, I don't know of anybody that actually got FEMA funding. And I've been looking for it too. Okay, any questions on that sewer change order? It's something that we've already voted on, but I just wanted to bring this up. And that'll be covered a little bit more when we respond to the Dunn Engineering contract. So I think that we need to just leave that as it is. When the Dunn Engineering contract comes to the table, we'll discuss this further. Okay, now we're to the police cruiser.
Yeah. Everybody get a chance to look at the package that I put out?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And also attached a photo of roughly what we'd be looking at getting, and the cost of what it would roughly be. I was looking at getting approval to see if we can move forward and get exact pricing and look at it, get in the line.
Okay, does this isn't decaled at all though, right?
No, they will be unmarked when we receive them.
Okay.
I think an upgrade is needed. Just got some mileage and problems with them, and
Correct.
certainly looks like they can make the payments.
Well, how accurate is this 32% less fuel than the Crown Vic and all that? Is that pretty accurate, or?
Yes, that was actually not even done by Ford. That was actually done by a outside group that compares all different vehicles.
I didn't see anything in here about mileage on this 2013.
That one, I don't know what the mileage is. Roughly all of them are running right around that price range. So I just kind of picked one to kind of give an example.
Do you feel there's any value to what we already have toward this, or?
What I would do with the existing vehicles that we have, the Cadillac I want to keep, and the other two vehicles I would sell, and they would go towards getting any kind of equipment that might be needed with it inside the vehicle, and then the rest of that would go towards the cost of that.
And this is only $9,000?
That one, yes.
There is a few others that are either cheaper or just a little higher as well. But you obviously won't go for the ones that are like $16,000 or $17,000. But it usually, that's around the rough price. There's a couple of them that are a little bit cheaper, and there's a few that are just a tiny bit more.
That one was about the mid-range price on them.
What do you all feel that the value of what you're going to sell, and what kind of hoops you have to jump through to sell it?
I would say the value of the Jeep, you may get 1,000 out of that. The Crown Vic, you'll get a little bit more. You know, you probably could get about $2,000 out of that one. The Jeep is just very old and ragged out. It really doesn't have much of a value.
Well, I understand that, but it was pretty much free.
Right.
To us. And the Crown Vic's got high mileage on it. I'm sure it's got a lot of idling hours on it.
Right, and that accounts for a lot. And I believe it's starting to have wiring issues as well. The lights on top of the vehicle, they're kind of spontaneously just not working. It's something that's done.
Is there, you say this is comes out to a cost of around $350 a month for the vehicle itself, right?
That would be for two of them.
For two of them, but yes, I mean that's for the vehicles, I guess I should say.
Correct, yeah. It may be a little bit less, honestly. I kind of used that price because I have a loan on the vehicle. It was $26,350. So I just put that on there. It would end up being less, honestly, in the long run.
And you can take that from your feeds.
Correct.
Well, it is on the agenda, and I guess we have the option to vote on it. So,
With the Cadillac?
the Cadillac he's gonna keep.
Well, no, that's what I said, do we still need two vehicles with the Cadillac? That'd give us three. I mean, I like the idea
I
because
don't
it
think
keeps
the
everybody on
Cadillac's
their
gonna
toes.
last very long.
No.
Oh, I don't know how to.
We'll have somewhat of a life out of it, but it's always good to have a spare vehicle as well.
Oh, yeah.
And the Cadillac's not costing us anything, so I figured might as well keep it. And I believe it'd be good PR.
Well, is the can the vehicle be transferred from the police department to the city?
Yes.
Because as the vehicle was originally agreed upon, it was to go to the police department.
Yeah, we can transfer them.
So that vehicle could be used as a hop around vehicle for these guys going to classes or whatever.
Correct.
Well,
So you're looking for a motion just to pursue finding vehicles and acquiring the loan for two
Correct.
vehicles?
Could you use the Jeep for up there at the water plant?
well, that was my point. Why,
Yeah.
you know, but these were designated actually for our police department because they were, well, the Cadillac was naturally a drug seizure car, but we had to jump through all kinds of hoops to do that, and it was designated to the police department. But it has to be into the police department for at least 90 days or something like that.
Right.
Before it could become a city vehicle. We gotta make sure we follow the rules here. And, you know, basically we've had it now for 90 days, haven't we, close to it?
Yeah.
We have to really make sure about what these rules are.
Yeah. I have to look at the exact date of when we officially got paperwork, but I would say so.
But the Jeep, it was donated to the city of Piedmont.
Correct. And we can actually donate it to the town. We are
Well,
allowed to do that.
I think it is already the town's property, not
Yeah.
just the police department, I think.
So that would work out good for that.
I know it is because I transferred the title.
Okay, there you go.
Well, they could use that for the water plant, couldn't they?
Yeah, I see no reason why not. It's probably gonna need a few repairs though.
When you go that far, it's.
Well, it still has to remain state inspected and everything else. So. Okay, well, it's up to everybody here.
I make a motion to allow the police department to pursue looking into getting two vehicles and acquiring a loan to purchase those two vehicles.
at a cost not to exceed $350 per month.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Go at it, guys, you got it. All right, the next thing and last thing on our agenda is the purchase of a Christmas tree.
Which we gotta have if we're gonna have a tree.
Christmas tree. You know, we can get it several places. We've went through this free Christmas tree bit several years in a row. And it ended up that we burned up a tank of fuel looking for people that was gonna give us a free Christmas tree and waiting around for 2 days trying to find one. And we can go buy one for $25. What makes the best sense?
Yeah.
So the purchase of a Christmas tree is pretty well accurate. Instead of looking for donations, the donation of Christmas trees are pretty scrubby.
Pick out a nice one.
Yeah. And,
And we don't have much time
well,
for the play.
Who normally does that?
makes it.
In the last couple,
Buck Farm.
yeah, they've had some really nice trees and they give us a good deal.
Alright.
It's over towards Antioch,
Yeah. Bucklick Farms or something like
Buck
that.
Ridge.
Excuse me, you said it was like $25, you said?
That's what we paid last year.
Is it, you think it's gonna be the same thing, same price?
I'm pretty sure that guy will do it for us for the same price.
If not, we can sit there and put in money and donate it.
Huh?
We can buy it and donate it ourselves.
Well, I think I bought the thing for the last couple of years, but however we can do it. We'll,
Yeah. I mean, 25, I'll starve for 2 months, but it'll be worth it.
I'll split on it.
You can cut back on your oodles and noodles.
I'll split on it with you, Clint.
Only live right down the
Or I'll
street.
buy it myself.
We eat at
We'll
6
handle
o'clock.
You find it, I'll buy it.
It's our pleasure.
We'll
It's the
decorate,
least
you
we can do.
know.
I'll
Dawn,
split on it with you. I'm
help me and
serious.
Paula
I'll
decorate.
buy it in there.
Last year.
Brown nose, sir.
Okay, I'm looking for a motion to purchase a Christmas tree.
I'll make a motion, we purchase a Christmas tree.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, we purchase a Christmas tree ASAP, and get it in the holder ASAP. Rick and I generally does that. Well, the town boys help us too. We'll get it up there, get it as level as possible,
Help people like it too.
and you gals will decorate it, is that right? Okay, our next meeting, November 28th, 2018.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I say it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We are adjourned.